Welcome to the International Dyslexia Association, Oregon Branch website. Our mission is to increase dyslexia awareness in Oregon and Southwest Washington, and to actively promote teaching approaches and other strategies that benefit children and adults with dyslexia. My name is Michelle Barnett. I am on the IDA Oregon Board of Directors, and I'm also the proud parent of 2 dyslexic students. I'd like to show you some information you can find on our website to answer these commonly asked questions from parents. How do we know if this is dyslexia? What does dyslexia look like? What are other students and families around here doing? What's everybody doing? How do we talk with teachers about it? And what kind of reading instruction will help? Let's go to the live website to take a look at resources for you to answer each of these questions. Here is our live website at or.dyslexiaida.org. To help answer the question about whether or not this could be dyslexia, the first place you should go is the top of our page about dyslexia. Go here to the Do I Have Dyslexia button. Here you will find information about the signs of dyslexia and numerous free screening tools to help understand if the signs that you are seeing could be dyslexia. The next place we'd invite you to come is directly into the parent grid. On the front page of our website, right in the middle, we have housed numerous resources specifically for parents. In here, you'll find the parent grid. Right at the top is the IDA Parent Handbook. This is a great resource to understand many pieces of information about dyslexia, all in one publication you can use online or print out. In the Dyslexia Handbook, What Every Family Should Know, you will find definition of dyslexia, characteristics of dyslexia, and a number of other pieces of information I will show you. Characteristics of dyslexia is a great section to look at if you are trying to understand if this could be dyslexia. Here you will find a bullet point list of numerous signs. This document is compatible with a screen reader.
Most people have 1 or 2 of these characteristics. That does not mean that everyone has dyslexia. A person with dyslexia usually has several of these characteristics that persist over time and interfere with his or her learning.
Browse through here to see how many of these you are observing. There's also information about other related learning disorders, such as dysgraphia, ADHD, and so on. Inside the parent grid, you'll also find parent first steps right here. This is a great place to understand additional ways you may want to look into helping your child. There are videos, there's written information, and there's a Browse Aloud button down here in the corner to assist with the text reading. Here, the bar will appear at the very top if you click that button down in the corner, and you can go to any section to have this read aloud.
It can be overwhelming to know how to proceed when your child begins to struggle to learn to read, write, and/or spell.
In addition to the videos and written information, further resources are organized along the lines of 3 different paths you may be taking: talking to your healthcare provider, talking to your school, and getting a private evaluation. The next common question many parents have is to understand, what are other students doing? What's everyone else doing? Come back to the parent grid and go down to the bottom to the local support group section right here. A great way to find out what everyone else is doing is to find that community, and here are some ways to do it. The IDA has a student empowerment group, which is a wealth of information and connection, but many of our other community partners also provide ways for you to connect with other parents, such as the Decoding Dyslexia branch in Oregon, the Kids Network with Decoding Dyslexia, many parent groups, and the Parent Information and Resource Center for Oregon, as well as the AT Lab. So come to the local resources support group section to find out more ways to connect. Let me show you specifically what the IDA Oregon Student Empowerment Group can do to help you understand what they have found works well for them. Over the years, this group has given many panel presentations to audiences of parents, administrators, teachers, and more. If you can't get out to see them in person, we now have a growing library of interviews with these students. Here are just some of the students that you can meet and listen in on a 15 to 20 minute Instagram Live personal chat with each of them, where they talk about how they found tutoring, what it's like to speak with teachers, their passions, their interests, and their challenges. These are a great way to find out what other kids are doing in Oregon. You can also visit our YouTube page. We have a number of videos in our growing library, including this one called Journey to Self-Advocacy and the Use of Assistive Technology. This is a 1-hour discussion with several student panelists about their personal journey to finding their voice, as well as their use of assistive technology. Back on the parent grid, let's help you answer the question, how to talk to your child's teacher about dyslexia and your needs. Here, I invite you to come to the Accommodations for Students section, right here. Start with this article about accommodations for students with dyslexia. Again, you can use the Browse Aloud feature. You can download the document and learn about what a sampling of many different accommodations options would be. What are accommodations and how do they give your student access to the full school experience? This is a great way for families to learn what the possibilities are to help their child access their schoolwork. But the next tool is to help you take that conversation to your teacher. This worksheet is just one way to organize your thoughts about what accommodations may be helpful to your student and to help your student learn to have that conversation with their teacher. Here would be just one example of how this could be used. Let's say my child, this is a fictional example, to give you an idea of one way you could use this worksheet to help your child have that conversation. My name is Michael. I enjoy building things. I'm great with computers and I love math. My challenges are spelling and handwriting, and I want you to know that I want to be a scientist one day. Here are some things that would help me understand the instruction in school. I need audiobooks to be able to hear the information. I can't write the notes down fast enough, so I please need a copy of the lesson notes to be sure I have all the information. And please don't call on me to read aloud in class, because that makes me very embarrassed. I'll be more comfortable in school if I know you won't call on me unless I raise my hand. Here are some things that will help me be able to show my knowledge on tests and homework. Please allow me to use a keyboard for my responses, and please provide me with a graphic organizer so that I know how to organize my writing. Another thing that would allow me to show you what I know is to have extra time available. And additionally, for me, I'm much better at telling you what I know orally and visually. So if there's ever a chance to do an alternative project instead of writing an essay, I would like to be able to give you a video or build a model to show my understanding. Another way to help with a conversation with teachers is to offer them this book, Dyslexia in the Classroom, what every teacher needs to know. Many teachers did not receive any training about dyslexia in their teacher training colleges, and they may appreciate receiving this publication. In here, there's information about dyslexia, the anxiety and stress associated with having dyslexia and being in school, and many classroom strategies, tips, and tools for teachers. Back here in the parent grid, in the accommodations section, there are some additional tools that will help you with advocating for your student and speaking with school. One area here is assistive technology. Here is a flyer created by our Student Empowerment Panel. These are assistive technology tools that our students have tried and that they would recommend. Each student tells us that their solutions are personal to them. There is no one size fits all. If you haven't found your technology solutions yet, this is a great place to start. In addition, further down in the accommodations section are some articles that might help you think through how you will advocate for your student in school. Some outside books that are highly recommended for parents, such as the Dyslexia Empowerment Plan, and tips from parents who have been there before about advocating effectively in their school. Finally, the last question I'll show you where to find resources for is what kind of reading and instruction will help. Here, go back to the parent grid and come down to what is structured literacy right here. In here, you'll find a wealth of information about structured literacy, including this recently updated complete guide about structured literacy. In addition, you can come up here to the top about dyslexia, go to the IDA fact sheets. These are shorter publications, just a few pages each, on numerous topics pertaining to dyslexic students. Let's go to the structured literacy document. Here, you'll find just a 3-page document that will explain many of the key terms and a description of structured literacy and why it's effective. The resources for this article are listed at the end, including the Department of Education, the IDA Knowledge and Practice Standards, leading PhDs in the field, such as Kilpatrick, Moats, the National Reading Panel, and Seidenberg. This publication is only 3 pages, but it gives you the snapshot of the science behind the reading instruction and the terminology. And if you go back to the parent grid, I'd like to remind you that one place you can find all of that is in the IDA Parent Handbook. Finally, please feel free to join us. We have a membership, and if you click on the membership button, the Join Us, look for our brand new Classroom Teacher membership. Let your child's teacher know that for free, they can join IDA and receive introductory information, newsletters containing a wealth of information, and brand new Science of Reading resources. There is also a starter membership for students that includes the IDA Annual Conference, which will be virtual this year. Thank you for coming and welcome.